Once again, you already know what it is. And by God, you already know where the heck you have reached. Man, I don't know what's going on, but I just look at my eyes. I just blinked my eyes, and we are less than 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. Fight TV is going to be putting on this crazy pay-per-view called Sacrifice by Impact Wrestling this Friday night. If you are locked into this show, that means you have a chance to win. Shout out to Fight TV. But let's get to the main focus, because before I introduce this intro, the best part of the show, shout out to Conrad, I just want to say I am really happy to be here, man. And I am really fired up. We're going to be talking about Sacrifice. We're going to be talking about WrestleMania. And we're going to be talking about two of the worst WrestleManias of all time. And me and Conrad are going to battle about which one was worse. Hogan and Bret Hart and Yoko, or Bam Bam and LT and Shawn Michaels and Diesel. It's a lot to talk about. But one thing is for sure, we're going to have some fun. Conrad, drop that thing.
What up, everybody? Thank you for joining us on a special timed edition. We will be back at 6:05 next week. Yes. Brother had a dentist appointment. Probably have another one coming up in 6 months. I'll remind Sean about that in October. But just know I said it now. We'll have another dentist appointment coming up. But all good news. Can't be upset with it. I know everybody is excited about what is going on. I see people in the chat writing, much appreciated. I got to give it up to Doug and Sir Quills. They were tied for who was in here first. Like, they popped up at the exact same time. So I don't want to waste too much time and get into some of these shout outs real quick. But as Sean did say, if you are in here and you are a big fan of Impact Wrestling, we are doing a giveaway for Sacrifice. It's going to be live Friday, March 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time during SmackDown. But hey, you're getting the chance to watch a free Impact pay-per-view. Can't complain. And it's coming to you courtesy of Fight TV. Lots of good stuff on this card. So make sure you guys are sticking around to check it out. And at the end, we will pick someone to give this away to. Yes, sir. So this giveaway should be fun. Stick around.
One more thing. Really important. One more rule. I put it out on Twitter in case you didn't see it. You have to enter. The way you enter, you're here. That's the biggest part. Make sure you subscribe to EPW. If you're watching this show without having subscribed, subscribe to EPW. And you got to subscribe to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly as well. Those two elements plus watching tonight's show is what officially gets you entered. So make sure you do that right now. And like Conrad said, we'll announce the winner. A free pay-per-view, WrestleMania season in full effect. What's the vibes?
Facts. We'll run through these people in the chat, man. Sir Quills, he got it in first, technically, according to StreamYard here. He said, heck yeah, darn right. Conrad and Sean are back at it again with yet another dope episode of Clash of the Podcast. What's up? What is good, Quills?
I appreciate you.
My man Dougie Fresh, Doug in the chat says, must be Monday. Are you guys going to run into Raw or a short show? We'll try to keep it short. If something crazy's happening on Raw, I'm sure someone will tell us in here.
Yeah, we're not going to go too long. If it runs over, it won't be my much.
Let's see here. We got Joel in the house. What's good?
What up, though?
Matt Lopez says, good evening, everyone. What is good, Matt? Positively E also in the chat saying, yo.
What up, though?
And Woot, I caught you there with that.
There you go.
He said, giveaway. Yes, it's happening, man.
Yes,
it's happening. It's Monday, and you know what that means. McKinney said, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling and let y'all know no matter where you go, there you are. Let's go.
I like that. That's a word right there. I like that.
It is. I always look forward to McKinney's words of inspirement.
Yeah, man.
Deanna says, free. What's going on, Deanna?
That's a fact.
D Money in the house saying what's good, D Money. Appreciate you, fam. It's Raw. Technically won't be missing anything important.
Touche, Quills. Touche.
My man Rob in the chat said, breaking news, Goldberg's WWE deal recently expired. Whatever will we do?
I'm heartbroken.
Moving on here. Matt said, who else is playing 2K23? Did you get a chance to cop this?
I copped it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. There's only one small disappointment. I'm gonna be very brief because we have a short show tonight. I don't like how they still give you major limitations on creating stables. I don't like how this year, for some reason, for the first time in my long memory of this game, that they don't allow you to customize the trio entrance. That is very weird to me. They do not allow you to customize the trio entrance. That's very, very weird to me. But the gameplay is dope. But it's like they don't realize the intricacies of the game. Double titles, thank God that's back. But double titles, entrances, all that stuff makes a difference as it relates to the fun of the game. But it is what it is.
Right. Rob wanted to give credit. That is according to Fightful, that Bill Goldberg news. So we got to make sure.
Appreciate that.
How y'all feeling about Asuka and Bianca?
I'm excited. I mean, it's not the same old stuff. I'll take something different any day.
Yeah, I just don't like that Asuka was dancing around and all that stuff. I don't know. It felt very weird last week. I want more focus on the women's divisions matches for both sides, SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah, I agree.
What's Bill Goldberg doing in the Impact Zone?
I was almost gassed up by that. You almost got me on that one.
Feels the same. I hear you, E. I hear you on that WWE. Yeah. We'll see what they come up with the storyline, D Money.
Yes,
but
sir.
Listen, Sean, we've been talking about this, bro. We've been talking for a minute.
We're gonna have fun, man. Let's have some fun.
Oh, we are. We're definitely about to go ham on this. I may have to pull up some stuff for us, but let's talk. We're going to do a debate here today for everybody. Like I said, we always try to switch the shows up. I'm going to have the Google machine going on here in the background. I'm going to pull up cards. We're going to do WrestleMania 9 versus WrestleMania 11. Which WrestleMania is worse? I put up a poll, too, on the YouTube channel just because I wanted to see what people would say or think.
Now, I want to be clear. In this particular argument, this particular debate, Conrad is saying, we're both agreeing both shows are terrible, right? But Conrad is saying that WrestleMania 9 is slightly better, and I'm saying that WrestleMania 11 is slightly better. But we both agree both shows are terrible, just for the record.
Yes, atrocious. Atrocious is probably the best thing that we could say for what they think with these. Sean, let's set this up, man. I think you're going to be pro 9 is better. So why don't you go first?
No, I thought it's okay either way. I could go either way because they both suck, but I thought I was pro 11 was better.
No. I'm definitely saying,
you're saying 11 is the worst. Is better than 9?
No. You have it right. 11 to me is the worst WrestleMania.
Okay, period. So I'm saying that 11 is better than 9.
Correct.
Okay.
I think it's the way you're saying it. It's messing us up.
It's okay.
But let's talk 9 first.
I'm saying 9 is worse than 11. And it's going to be very difficult to pull that off. So let me do my best.
All right. Let's get into WrestleMania 9. I tried to do my best with some of the artwork on this. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to find some of this. Like that looks good. At least that'll pop up on screen looking good. Thoughts, memories of WrestleMania 9?
Real quick, really excited as a kid to watch this show. I thought it was really exciting. I was a young 7-year-old kid, so I was really fired up about it. But my being an adult has made me detest this show. So I can't stand this show for many reasons.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I also ordered this show. This was my second WrestleMania that I can remember ordering. So I was a little bit excited for it. So I guess if I say something that's like at the time, you have to remember this is like 5-6-year-old me, 6-year-old me, I think at the time. Yeah. So just put that into perspective. If I say something stupid and saying during that time, that's the time period for me. But let's go down this card first. Let's go down this card. Apparently Tito Santana and Papa Shango were in the dark match. I don't recall seeing that. They probably didn't air that stuff. We didn't have like the pre-shows back then, really. But it was the debut of Jim Ross. I thought that was a positive here.
Which one are we arguing? That's how bad these shows are.
Listen, let's just talk 9. Let's just talk 9 first.
Okay, but I am technically saying that by a shred that 11 was better.
Yeah.
All All right, let me think about the bad parts of WrestleMania 9. Where do I start? All right, so number one, Jim Ross coming in was a big surprise. So I guess that was cool. Macho and Bobby the Brain riding in on sedans and camels. It was ridiculous. I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now. It was stupid. It was so freaking stupid. They kept talking about how Bobby the Brain smelled like camel all night. That was stupid. It was a toga party. That was stupid. The whole thing was stupid, right? So then you got HBK. Are we just going down the line here?
No, I can read the card for you down the line. I pulled it up just so we have it.
Let's do it.
So the first match, the opening match, and I'm not going to lie, this probably was the best match.
It was.
The sad part is I always thought as a kid this match was the longest match, and I'm looking, and it was not the longest match on this card. It is the second longest. Tatanka, who was undefeated at the time, with Sensational Sherry in his corner. Sounds weird. Sensational Sherry, a babyface, defeated Shawn Michaels with Luna Vachon for the Intercontinental Championship. But there's more to it than that.
So HBK was the reason that Sherry got hit in the face with the mirror by Marty Jannetty. I personally think that Sherry jumped in the way to save Shawn Michaels. That's what I think. But allegedly, they say that Shawn Michaels pulled her in front. I don't know. I don't have any film in front of me. I can't confirm nor deny that fact. Okay, Shawn Michaels is too benevolent, and we all know that in the '90s, Shawn Michaels was a wonderful human being. So there's no way that Shawn Michaels would do such a thing. Okay, but anyway, the bottom line is the whole lead up was that Sherry was going to turn on Shawn Michaels because Shawn Michaels did her dirty, and that at the end of the day was what it was. Now, first of all, Tatanka was undefeated. Big freaking deal. Nobody really cared about Tatanka. Nobody took Tatanka seriously. But since he was defeated and he beat Shawn Michaels in a 6-man tag weeks before on WWE Superstars, and he beat Shawn in a non-title singles match on Wrestling Challenge. Oh, well, maybe, Tatanka is going to beat HBK for the title. It didn't happen. The match, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship match to open up the show on what was considered the biggest toga party in the world, ended in a freaking disqualification. Shawn Michaels pulls out the referee. The referee taps Tatanka's shoulders 3 times to give the indication it's a 3 count, but it turns out he's calling for the bell. Disqualification. Shawn Michaels retains. He loses the match, but he retains. Good match. Horrible ending. Theme of the night.
In the chat, I just put the link for those. If anyone didn't get the chance to vote, please feel free to do that. Also, don't forget to hit like on the video as well. This match was just, yo, what were they thinking? Why? I don't know what Vince McMahon's fascination was at the time with, you know what? I got an idea. Let's do a disqualification for this show that we made everybody pay for. Why? Why do you do that? That is the one thing, and I know I'm comparing. That's the one thing I appreciate about AEW, ROH, all those other places. They don't do DQ finishes all the time, and usually if they do a DQ, it's for a good reason, and it's okay. WWE, with WrestleMania shows specifically, go watch WrestleMania 4 and 5, I think, were the 2 that had the most DQs I've ever seen. Ridiculous, bro. I get protecting people, but Vince was protecting everybody. Bro. Like, Warlord DQ for you. Like, everybody gets DQ'd. It was just bad.
So we had the IC title match ended a dud. So now we move on to a tag match between the Head Shrinkers and the Steiner brothers with no build-up whatsoever. Why are they in the ring together? Nobody freaking knows. They had no history with each other whatsoever.
They were tag teams. I mean,
They were, yes, they were tag teams. Yes, it could have been any tag team, but it is what it is. So the Head Shrinkers come out. It's a physical match. It's a pretty decent match. Steiner line here, Frankensteiner there. Afo with the kendo stick from the outside.
Scott Steiner almost jacking his neck up on that flapjack.
I'll give you that. That's a fact. And when he took him outside the ring, that was pretty good too. It wasn't a horrible match, but it was a match with no purpose. So to me, that's a dud. But I guess if On a scale of 1 to 10, I would have said it was a 6 or a 6.5, but nothing to be excited about.
Let me say this too for both of our shows. When you go back and look at the opening matches, being the great opening match wasn't a thing at this time either. Like opening match was like, yo, you're the dude who's like the popcorn match. Yeah. Is how it was viewed at the time. Because oftentimes you would see like the head shrinkers versus high energy to start a pay-per-view or something of those lines.
That was 92.
Yes. One of my other first pay-per-views besides WrestleMania. So it always sticks in my head, that match. But it wasn't this beholding thing like, oh, you definitely want to have that up. You definitely want to do that. And we're getting some great comments in here. I see you guys. I saw we had CZL in here saying WrestleMania 27 may be worse than either one of those. Derek has joined us as well. What up, D?
What up, D?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to say this politely. I like the toga theme. I like the Caesar Palace. Like I love the look of it at the time as a kid. Is that wrong? Like the Romans and we're here. Caesar. It's called Caesar's Palace. I liked it.
Derek, I see you, brother.
Come on, Sean. You got to give me something here.
It was okay. I mean, it was all right. It wasn't. Tatanka and Shawn Michaels was the best match of the night, and it was a 7. Right? That's what I'm looking at right now. Tatanka and HBK was the best match of the night, and it was a 7 that ended in a DQ, bro. It ended in a DQ. I mean, golly. And then you had a nonsensical tag match with no build-up whatsoever. And then tell me what's next. I know what's next, but I want you to say it. Tell me what's next. Tell me what's next, Conrad. Tell me what's next.
Doink the Clown defeated Crush by pinfall. In what was a Doink moment in history?
So Doink the Clown has been terrorizing, air quotes, Crush for the last few weeks. It leads to a match. The match is pretty much fairly commonplace, okay? Then you guys are saying it was epic, it was good. I don't know what you guys are watching, but it was trash to me. So at the end of the day, Doink comes from under the crowd, under the ring, takes the fake arm. Now, the fake arm, we only know it was a fake arm because he took it out of his arm socket on Superstar the week before. So it was just another fake arm. He comes out from it. It was an illusion, as Bobby the Brain said. It wasn't two Doinks. It was an illusion. Whatever. It was corny. It was cliche. Nobody cared about Crush to begin with. I was a 7-year-old kid hoping that Crush would be out of action forever. I couldn't stand that dude. He made me sick. Crush is always going to be the guy in Demolition that didn't belong to be there, the guy who stole Axe's position. So I will never forgive Crush for that, okay? Crush's move was this. That was Crush's move.
What front that wasn't your guy in Royal Rumble back on the Genesis.
What a technical masterpiece of a move. Squeeze somebody's head together. Wow, him and Great Khali. Awesome. So at the end of the day, Crush has the Kona Crush. By the way, what a wonderful name for a move, by the way.
At least it made sense with him, though.
Kona Crush. Okay, hold on a second. His move was called the Kona Crush. He's from Kona, and his name was Crush. How revolutionary. Unbelievable. So then he puts him in the Kona Crush. The other Doink comes from underneath the ring. Doink wins. They can't find the other Doink under the ring. Bill Alfonso from ECW is the referee for some reason, coming out from backstage. Freaking, to use Jesse Ventura's words, stupid Joey Morella, God rest his soul, can't figure out this. There's another guy under the ring. You know, I'll tell you something. God rest his soul, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, but Jesse Ventura was right. I'll tell you something. Joey Morella was an idiot. God rest his soul. He was a moron because he never saw anything. But it is what it is.
That's the job of the official.
Kona Crush wins. It is what it is. Let's move on.
Listen.
Kona Crush loses, excuse me. Let's move on.
I'm trying to. Quill said WWF Wrestling Challenge. What a flashback. That's where Kenny Omega and Jay White are going to go if they go to WWE. Book it.
That's a fact. They'll be featured on that show. Yes. Very good.
Positively,
Very good.
positively E over here talking about the Man of War. You better cut it out. WrestleMania 9 was like AEW Revolution, no build, but a decent show. 11 was all build, celebrity hype.
We've been on the same page for a while. We are not on the same page for this one. Revolution, which I've gone on record saying that was not a great show. Revolution runs circles around WrestleMania 9.
High energy slander. We did not say anything bad about high energy.
High energy. And I love it.
I was a fan, and Michaels did the job. Definitely a better show. That's Shawn Michaels slander. Don't you dare say that. Don't you dare.
So far, Derek, my guy. So far, we have an opening match, second biggest title in the company, disqualification. We have a nonsensical with no build tag match. And we have a clown coming from underneath the ring, hitting somebody with a fake arm and knocking them out. So far, we're 3 for 3. 3 bangers.
Stick with me for a second.
3 bangers. We're on a roll.
Do we know who that second doink was at that time? Do you know? Was it Skinner? Then?
I don't know. I know the original was Matt Bourne. I'm going off camera for literally 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds.
You're fine. D Money says the Vegas theme was lit. Sean is going to join the Derek Order. Isn't it a great gimmick? WrestleMania 9 should be in every 2K game. It is a great arena, I think. That's at least my personal thing on it. Ron just wrote Giant Gonzalez.
WrestleMania 9 you can kind of recreate in my creations for the arenas because the outdoor, they call it the outdoor venue. It's one of 9 arenas you could create. One of them is literally Caesar's Palace, like if you look for it.
Right, I see Tokyo in here. Tokyo just put the angry face and then doink the clown. Let me see here. Someone said, I like you, clown doink.
Not enough build, Deanna says. No build at all, Deanna. No build at all.
Listen, it's going to get real bad when I start talking later. Hey, Kali, don't you dare try to justify Kali using that crusher. Come on, McKinney. Come on. Yeah, WrestleMania 9 so far sounds like rubbish to me. It gets better, guys. It gets better.
But here's the thing. So far we've had 3 5-star matches to open up the show. All right, we're on a roll. We're doing real. WrestleMania is off to a blazing start. God rest his soul. Macho Man Randy Savage saying is the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Rest in peace in heaven, Macho Man. You were right on the money. The greatest WrestleMania ever.
I also think too, if you listen to the commentary it was Macho Man, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Jim Ross, I believe, right?
Yes, it was.
I feel like Jim Ross was so Macho Man on commentary was hard because he was still his persona. Savage should have been in the ring, period, still at this time. I don't know why Vince pulled him out of that, but Savage should have been in the ring. I thought Heenan, it was slapstick 80s type of stuff they were doing. It was kind of getting tiresome at that point, but I still thought they did fine. I would have much rather had Heenan and Monsoon out there, personally. That's just me talking.
I'd rather have Heenan and Monsoon anytime, anywhere, ever. So it's like, you're never going to get an argument from me out of that.
Yeah, I just think Jim Ross was learning his place kind of when it came to all of this.
You know what would have been good, bro? It would have been good if, by the way, that's pretty awesome. That setup, I admit, the setup is, we're not talking about the stage though, but that setup is awesome. But real quick, I think that Jim Ross would have been better in Gorilla Monsoon's position, as in Gorilla Monsoon was the host for that show.
Mm-hmm.
If Jim Ross had switched with Gorilla, that would have been better.
I think it could have been a nice way to introduce him to the company too. Instead, he was like right into the fire, and you better figure it out.
Absolutely. But again, 3 bangers to open up the match: a DQ, a pointless tag, and a clown hitting somebody with a fake arm. Way to start off one of the greatest manias of all time.
Yeah, Rob said Savage was out knuckle injury. I don't know if that wink face is for kayfabe or what.
That wink face is because everybody thinks that Savage attacked Hogan before the show.
Y'all better stop it. Macho Man should have been in the ring. I agree. Hold on, we're gonna get to that. McKinney going in already. We'll get into it some more. Let's get to this next banger. The bad guy, Razor Ramon, makes his WrestleMania debut against Bob Backlund. Remember this name because I'm going to bring up something. This match went 3 minutes and 45 seconds, Sean. What can we talk about mine? Because it's going to get real funny.
So Bob Backlund, this is before he actually became somebody again. Because he was I'm being for real. Became somebody again because he was somebody in the past. And then in 93, he came back. He didn't really ascend to being a major heel until 94. So Bob Backlund does his aerobics routine in the middle of the ring. Razor Ramon's looking at him like he's an idiot because he was. The crowd's chanting for Razor, which shows that WWE's right on the money about who should be babyface and who should be heel, because Razor Ramon's a heel throwing his toothpick at kids, but meanwhile the crowd is chanting for him. Allegedly, Bob Backlund didn't feel comfortable in taking the Razor's edge. So at WrestleMania, you have Razor Ramon and Bob Backlund in another pointless match with no build whatsoever, winning by small package. Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I don't understand, because Bob Backlund was there at Royal Rumble 93 where Razor faced Brett. You didn't know what the finish was for him. You didn't know what he was going to do. Why would you agree to the match? But again, this is the same dude who had Diesel doing leapfrogs and other stuff in their matches that Diesel got yelled at for by Undertaker. Don't ever let me see you doing that again. Don't ever let me see you do a sunset flip again. All right. This is the one I've really been waiting for to get into it with Sean. Tag team titles. Where can you go wrong? Let's get back into the tag title situation. At the time, we had the team of Money Inc. I love this tag team because it made so much sense. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and his good friend IRS, which is Erwin R. Shyster. And they are going to be taking on the team of the Mega Maniacs, Sean. That's right, brother. It's going to be Hulk Hogan and Brother Brutai, the Booty Man, if you will. Yeah. And Jimmy Hart's in their corner. This is the first time I think I remember seeing Hogan and Jimmy together.
Yeah, that was the first. I mean, they appeared together on Raw when he introduced him as new manager.
Yeah,
you know something. Let's look. First and foremost, let's address the elephant in the room, okay? If there was now, Hogan's a lot of things. Hogan is a lot of things, but I'll tell you one thing he definitely is. I'll tell you something that he definitely is. He is the best friend, and I mean the by God best friend of Brutus Beefcake, because Brutus Beefcake is awful. You understand me? Brutus Beefcake is one of the corniest, most annoying characters. As a 7-year-old kid, I'm asking myself, why is this moron saying he's cutting hair with hedge clippers? What a freaking idiot. And Hogan and him, we didn't know this at the time as kids, but obviously Hogan and Beefcake were really good friends, and that's why Hogan dragged him along. But I digress. So you have the tag team title match. Jimmy Hart, for some reason, has a come to Jesus meeting and decides he doesn't like Money Inc. being bad guys anymore.
Yeah, even though he was with the Natural Disaster. Jimmy Hart's been a bad guy his entire time in the company at this point.
He was side by side with the Earthquake when he gave the Earthquake to Damien the Snake.
Oh, you mean those snake burgers?
Yeah,
always look delicious, by the way.
He was side by side with the Honky Tonk Man. He was side by side with Greg the Hammer Valentine. He was side by side with all the heels that ever were. But somehow, for some way, Hogan comes back, and now Jimmy Hart wants to be. Oh, you're going too far, Ted DiBiase. Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world. So now we have a tag title match, and Hogan is clearly the fan favorite, dragging Beefcake along by his bootstrings. No talent hack. And Hogan decides, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Money Inc. with Brutus the Barber Beefcake's face shield. So instead of it making sense, what they do is the referee gets knocked out. A referee doesn't come from the back. No, not at all. What we're going to do is we're going to have Jimmy Hart turn his jacket inside out like a freaking moron, and the inside of his jacket has stripes. So that makes him a referee. And he gets down on his hands and his grubby knees, and he slaps the mat 3 times, and the 20,000 people in the Coliseum, only 5,000 of the 20,000 start cheering because everybody and their brother knows, except for little 4-year-old kids, know that this is not going to stand. And the decision gets reversed. And the highlight of the match is Hogan and Beefcake finding IRS's briefcase filled with a brick, tax forms, and money that they give away to the crowd. Wonderful. And another title match, by the way, another title match at WrestleMania ending in disqualification. Outstanding. Out freaking standing.
If you would have put Repo Man in that group with the $1 Million Man and IRS, you could have had something there. I repossess it, you charge them the taxes for it, and you make the money off of it. I don't know what to say about this. This match was awful. Even as a kid, I was confused, bro, by all of this. I just didn't understand it. I didn't even like Jimmy Hart. Like at the time, did you like Jimmy Hart turning face?
No.
It was just bad, right? Like I just never felt Jimmy Hart as a face. Even in WCW later on, like it just felt wrong to see Jimmy Hart with Hogan.
Of the match was them finding the briefcase with a brick, tax forms, and money. That was the best part of the match. Hogan, the big red and yellow idiot, finds the money, shows it to the crowd. The crowd goes crazy because even if you hate Hogan, you still want the money. Hogan shows them the money. The crowd goes crazy. He drops the money on the mat and starts posing. We don't want you to pose. We want the freaking money, you red and yellow moron.
Sorry, dude. These are Pasta Mania coupons, brother. Get yourself the beefaroni.
I wish 7-year-old Sean knew what 35-year-old Sean knew now, because Hogan's been a big goof for a long time.
He's always been disguised as a bad guy, hanging with Jimmy Hart
for a long time. And this match is just one more example. But little did we know, as we go down the parameters of this card, the tag team titles weren't good enough for the Hulkster.
Yeah, Matt Lopez comes in. He says the idea of Hulk Hogan in a tag team championship match after all those years as a main guy is ridiculous.
It absolutely was ridiculous, and the match was ridiculous, and Beefcake's always been ridiculous, and Jimmy Hart being a face manager was ridiculous.
Speaking of faces, Hogan came out with a black eye. Brutus Beefcake's face was jacked up from a parasailing accident. Like, what is going on? Like, I don't know what they were trying to do here. I don't know what the thought process was. It's just frustrating even looking at it. I feel bad just talking about it.
That I went to my mother, my sweet
for
mother,
this show, right?
And said, "Ma, will you spend your hard-earned money on this pay-per-view, please? Will you take the money that you broke your back for working to put food on our table and buy this worthless, stinking pay-per-view?"
Next up, we
weren't done.
Oh, no, there's plenty more. We have the narcissist Lex Luger, and he defeated Mr. Perfect by pinfall. They had about 10 minutes here. It was a match. Because
there was a bell, and then there was wrestling, and then there was another bell. That's why it was a match. Okay? It was a match because it was a match.
Can I say a hindsight thing with this match?
Whatever you want, Conrad.
What if they did Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart in the main event instead? And you got that match that you were going to end up getting at King of the Ring later on. Don't you think that could have been like an idea, at least, that somebody would have?
That sounds like a good idea.
Oh no! It's infiltrated the classic reviews. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Bret versus Perfect in the main event of WrestleMania. That sounds like a good idea. You know what that means?
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing. The presentation for Luger was impressive. I thought Heenan did his best to try to like put him over, but it's Lex Luger at the end of the day. And I don't mean that with like super disrespect, but we know what Luger was gonna do, bro. Clothesline. My forearm it's got metal in it. And I don't think they even let him do the torture rack at the time. And it just didn't, I don't know, I didn't feel anything for this.
Conrad, no torture rack, no perfect plex. So far, we've had DQ and Intercontinental, pointless tag, a clown hitting somebody with a fake arm, a 3-minute roll-up, a DQ in the tag titles, and now a roll-up with no finishers with Perfect and Luger. And by the way, Luger still couldn't move during this match either.
Was this when Perfect's feet got caught under the ropes too and he couldn't kick out of the backslide? Was that what it was?
And by the way, that was stupid because he did the backslide. Perfect's feet are on top of the ropes. What about that meant he couldn't kick out? His feet weren't hooked in the ropes. His feet were on top of the ropes. How insulting.
It was the 90s, you know, it was different. It was different back then. A lot of people are agreeing with your assessment of Brutus Beefcake. I won't be too. I try to give Brutus credit because he was in there taking the bumps, but I hear everything that you guys are saying as well in the chat, and I respect your take. Let's get into maybe one of these two matches can help this show out. You've got the Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez here. This is the one like asterisk. I feel like in the streak numbers when you look at the record that you got to be like, yeah. This match was awful. Awful.
By the way, another disqualification. Is anybody keeping count? Is anyone keeping count? Another disqualification. Holy crap!
Will said plain buffoonery. Was somebody on the outside saying they could smell the chloroform in this one, or am I thinking of a different time with Vince?
No, you're hearing Jim Ross lie to the people and say you could smell it. Yes.
It's like you're outside. I can smell that chloroform. You should be a detective then, sir, because you've been missing out.
You're in the wrong profession. You should be a police detective. That's exactly right.
This was awful. I know they were trying to give Harvey Whippleman something to do at the time, and El Gigante, Giant Gonzalez, whatever you want to call him. They tried. It just wasn't. It wasn't a good idea.
WrestleMania. We can say by WrestleMania 9 that WrestleMania has been established as the biggest show in the industry, right? Yeah. Can we say that? 3, 4, 5, 6? We can say that, right?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
3 disqualifications. 3 disqualifications on a 10-match pay-per-view. And one of the matches was 22 seconds. And the other match was 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And the main event was cut short.
Yeah, and I think didn't Undertaker come out on like a wagon? Like I know this sounds real bad.
On some kind of wagon with a Sting Crow on the back of it. And then he gets wheeled to the back on a stretcher, and somehow he rises up and comes back, and all big goofy Giant Gonzalez is saying, "What happened? What happened? I don't understand what happened." He chokeslams Bill Alfonso. For what? For what? Give me. I mean, it's the most putrid, disgusting pay-per-view. 3 disqualifications and 2 matches under 3 minutes, and a goofball Jim Ross who doesn't know the roster yet. I mean. Good Lord. People paid their heart. My mother. I love my mother. My mother paid her hard-earned money for this show. But we're not done.
We should call our parents and apologize.
We really should.
We should be like,
we're not done. We're not done because at least We can look forward to the world title match because we know that they can't screw that up.
Matt Lopez said Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez, the greatest match in WrestleMania history. Only in the Tokyo Dome, brother. E said Downtown Bruno. Yes, that's Harvey Whippleman. Why is WrestleMania 9 sounding like an extremely putrid episode of Raw right now? It was pretty bad. JR smelled some. Yo, peace.
Sweet God.
Main event time. So we thought. We have Yokozuna, the Royal Rumble winner with Mr. Fuji. And don't get me that Royal Rumble finish is one of my least favorite Rumble finishes. Even as a kid.
That Royal Rumble was trash.
Even as a kid, though, bro, watching that on the squiggly lines on Channel 99, bro, when they said Macho Man went for a pin, I'm like, why? Why did you go for a pin? And then Yoko kicked out and he just flew over the top for him. Ridiculous. But Yokozuna is going up against Bret the Hitman Hart, who was trying to establish himself. And when I mentioned Tito Santana before, remember, what do you think Tito was thinking this night when he was like, I'm in the dark match, and they said I was considered one of the people to be the world champion?
Yeah, I think Tito Santana should thank his lucky stars that we don't have any footage of him being anywhere near Las Vegas on this night.
Right? Here is Yoko and Bret. Bret came out in the all pink. Bret was beloved by many people, but Yoko was the monster at this time. You had, I don't know if that's Earl or Dave in there refereeing the match. They tried their best here. According to Bret Hart, this match was actually supposed to go way longer than it did. And I don't know if Vince called for it or Yoko was out of it, like out of breath, and he didn't want to go anymore. But they went to the finish kind of early. Bret's trying to slap on the sharpshooter. I always remember that sharpshooter on those big legs, that he was just trying to hulk him up a little bit to get him up. And then the ref's checking. Fuji sees it. Salt in the eyes. Bret goes down. And that's it.
The most devastating move in the industry at that particular time was the bonsai drop. That was the most devastating move in the business. Yoko had earned main event status. Did we see a bonsai drop at WrestleMania?
No.
He won the match after. Okay, so here's what, sweet God. So here's what we understand. Bret Hart, one of the greatest professional wrestlers to ever, one of the most resilient. This man wrestled for 60 minutes against Shawn Michaels and didn't get pinned or submitted. So what we're saying is that Bret Hart could not kick out of the dreaded salt in the eyes finisher, because if you remember the match, ladies and gentlemen, after Fuji, you see my face, Conrad? After Fuji threw the salt in Bret's eyes, Yokozuna pinned him. He pinned him. No leg drop, no belly to belly, no bonsai, no running into the corner with the backsplash, nothing. Bret Hart, whole body broke down and could not kick out when Fuji threw salt in his eyes. The World Wrestling Federation Championship changed hands on salt to the face. Has it ever, chat, do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you see me? Do you feel me? The World Wrestling Federation Championship that has changed hands on leg drops. Leg drops are not the most iconic move in the business, but it has historical significance. That has changed hands on the Macho Man flying elbow. That has changed hands on the super press above the head and splash. That has changed hands in some of the most iconic moments in history. The WWE Championship changed hands at WrestleMania with salt he threw salt in Bret's eyes and Brett collapsed and couldn't kick out. Does anybody hear me? Does anybody hear me?
D-Money thought it was lit until the finish of what we're going to talk about next. Giant Gonzalez over
Conrad, please help me. Conrad, please help me.
I'm just going to, he said it best. Brett, they massacred my boy. In the Godfather voice, they massacred my boy.
I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. Bret Hart lost the most prestigious championship in the industry on the biggest night in the industry, in the main event, by getting salt thrown in his face. No follow-up, no reaction. He got salt in the face. His body stopped working. And Yokozuna pinned him. And people out there have the audacity to defend this pay-per-view?
Oh my goodness.
This could go down. And to this day, I haven't heard of anything worse. This could go down as the single worst pay-per-view ever. And yet, when me, as a grown man, watch this pay-per-view back, and we look at how Yokozuna, no matter how terrible it was, no matter how horrible it was for him to win the title on Salt to the Eyes, we could still say, Conrad, Yokozuna deserved it. Yokozuna was the man. We can at least live with the fact that the pay-per-view would go off the air with that heavenly Japanese music playing in the background and Yokozuna's arms in the air with the title over his shoulder. But even that wasn't all she wrote.
No. They made a challenge, and who came out but brother. Hulk Hogan comes out, and Brett's got salt in his eyes. He's like, I can't do nothing. I need help. Go get him. Get him for me. Go get him. And Brett points to the ring. Hogan gets in, and in 22 seconds, comes in, slams him, drops the leg. 1, 2, 3. New champ, baby. Brother with the black eye came in. He was like, I didn't win the tag belts, dude, but I'm leaving WrestleMania 9 with the world championship, brother. All this so he could carry it for a pay-per-view until the King of the Ring, because he thought they needed to be on the tour, and they promised Brett that Brett would get the chance to work with Hogan for SummerSlam. What? None of this. He did work the tour until July, I believe, or June or July, but him and Brett never happened. Never, ever happened. Pocket sand. Wait, somebody said, look at what the brother in the front row thought of that Hogan pick. I see him now. Right in between Hogan's legs. Pause. Right there. He's looking like, why did I pay for this? Why?
You know something? I have a reputation of being a pretty big hothead. Okay, I own that. Okay, you told me on the air, off the air, Sean, you gotta relax. You told our fans have said to me, Sean, we appreciate you. You're our dog, but you gotta chill sometimes, bro. Take it easy. You can't, any of you, not one soul in this chat, or you, Conrad, could with a straight face tell me I'm overreacting. Not tonight. WrestleMania 9 was a by God atrocity.
And that's why I put this as the second worst WrestleMania of all time in my mind.
And that's why I want to argue with you that it's the worst, because WrestleMania 11 was trash, but it wasn't as bad as I just brought down.
Here's what I want everyone to get out of their head real quick, because I'm going to go through mine pretty quickly. Because Sean had to go off. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. You know why? Because it deserves to on 11. But take the main event out of this for 1 second. I know what you're saying. I agree 100% that this was an atrocity. But I don't want you just to focus on the main events for this. I want you to look at the entire card.
You can't say that, bro. And I'm not going to take up no more time. You can't sit up here and say it was an atrocity like tongue-in-cheek, bro. It was a freaking atrocity, bro.
Oh no, bro! Hogan played the politics and dropped the leg drop, dude. Like that was how they played back then. That's how you knew. And you know what's the crazy part? For all those Brett and Shawn people who love the rivalry between them, Shawn Michaels even said this is ridiculous, bro. Shawn Michaels, he didn't have the swag yet to go up to visit. You know how he started acting later once he became the champ. But at that time, he was on Brett's side. Like, that's ridiculous. Did you give your mom the money back? No, they're gonna be waiting for that check for a minute. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sean, you're not overreacting. Your actions are rightfully 100% justified. Let's talk about this though. We're gonna get into this next show. Let's talk WrestleMania 11. Looks cool, right? Looks cool. You see those two? That's probably as bright as it's gonna get, and I'm gonna explain to you why. This show, oh no, 1995 is a bad year in the WWF. They had a lot of gimmicks. They had a lot of things. So this show wasn't even good enough to get a dark match. And it wasn't somewhere cool like Las Vegas or Caesar's Palace. Guess where they did the show? They just turned around and walked down the street from Vince's house. It's in Hartford, Connecticut. Who the heck ever said, yeah, Hartford deserves a WrestleMania? They should definitely get one. And I don't think they've ever been back since. Because it's terrible. It's not a place to hold a WrestleMania. You have the Garden there. You could have even went to New Jersey to do the show, but Connecticut? Why? But they were in cost-cutting mode at the time because they were getting basically no money coming in on these live events. Sean, you remember the opening match for this?
I do.
Do you remember the opening match for this? Our good friend Dutch Mantel was involved in this.
I do.
Bro.
It was bad. It was bad.
Bro, no. We're not going to just say this was bad. Lex Luger, after not winning the title at WrestleMania 10, went into this I'm a loser mode and teamed up with the British Bulldog to form the Allied Powers. Bro, what in the World War II type of name is this? And they're facing mountain men called Jacob and Eli Blue. That's the Harris twins with hair. This is
Nobody
bad.
knew I have an objection. Nobody knew they were the Harris twins at the time.
I didn't want to. That was saving them until I found that out. This is bad. This is bad, bro.
It was bad. It was bad.
Not even that. What do you think someone who is a former main eventer, Bulldog and Luger, how much time do you think they gave them for that match, Sean?
I mean, I'm not going to cheat and look it up. I'll say 7 minutes.
You are a little over 6 minutes and 34 seconds for people who you consider main eventers. What? No wonder Luger went right back over to WCW. I wouldn't have stayed either for this crap.
So your logic is that Luger,
I'm saying if I'm Lex Luger, I would have been offended at how I was treated at this point.
No argument there.
You told me I was going to be the champ. You didn't deliver. Then you said me and Bulldog are going to do something. Those two never even sniffed the tag titles, ever. It was never going to happen.
I have zero argument. Go ahead. That was bad. It was a bad match.
Let's go on to the next match. Razor Ramon with the 1-2-3 kid in his corner defeated Jeff Jarrett with the roadie. One time for the people. Oh, you didn't know? Hey, Vince. Hey, Hunter, you better call somebody. You know who it is. The roadie. And at this time, he didn't talk. Whatever. For the Intercontinental Championship, guess how this match ended, Sean?
Okay, that's one. That's one.
I don't care. Guess that this is a championship match.
You didn't have this. Where was that energy when I was talking about HBK and Tatanka? Where was that energy?
It was still there. That was a great match, dude.
Whoa! Great is a big word. It was a good match.
That was my Shawn Michaels bias.
Okay.
It was a good match, but you have said that was match of the night. Guess what? This ain't it, Chief. This ain't match of the night, Chief. X-Pac came out there he came out in like pajamas. He was out there in pajamas with Razor Ramon. What is this, dog? What is this? It was just bad. Jeff Jarrett, a DQ. So what is this? The second longest match on the card. You wasted my time the entire time to do a disqualification. Why? If Shawn can get mad about that, I feel like I can too. You wasted my time.
Okay.
Horrible.
I'm not arguing.
Horrible. Moving on. Here we go. Here's a 5-star match. Another match to the streak. The Undertaker with Paul Bearer defeated King Kong Bundy with Ted DiBiase.
King Kong Bundy was a member of the $1 Million Corporation.
Sean, since you talked about no Banzai drop, no tombstone, no choke slam.
Okay, that's unrealistic, bro.
No choke slam. He won with a flying clothesline. Undertaker did all the work and was like, yo, I got this, bro. I got you. Ugh. And pinned him. I never had a doubt for a second. I get that Bundy was a legend. Bundy main event at WrestleMania 2. It's 9 years later. But come on, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way this is the best you got for Undertaker. Undertaker was so freaking good, and this is what you're doing with him. Vince wasted him.
Better than Taker versus Gonzalez.
Bro, we're fighting. I don't know. I don't know about this.
Go ahead.
I don't know, man. To me, it was very deceptive to put King Kong Bundy out there. This ain't King Kong Bundy from '86, bro. This dude ain't moving. Ain't moving for nothing. Okay. Taker basically worked around him, with all due respect to Bundy. Like, it takes two to tango in there, but this just wasn't it, man. It went 6 minutes. Oh, and I forgot, Larry Young was the referee for that. Owen Hart had a mystery partner, and Mr. Fuji.
Whoa! I am going to interject. What you're about to talk about is widely and chat. You guys are really, except for Quills and maybe Deanna, everybody's ganging up on me. But here we go. This moment that Conrad's about to talk about is widely considered one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history. Period. I'm talking about top 10 WrestleMania moments of all time, according to websites, dirt sheets, documentaries, the whole 9 yards. So be careful when you talk about this.
They have this in the top 10?
Top 10, the end of the match. Top 10 and the historical significance of it. You're
going to have to remind me the ending because I don't remember it.
One of the greatest moments in WrestleMania, before you go, one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history.
This is 1995, E. Owen Hart comes out and he reveals his mystery partner.
Awesome.
They go up against the Smoking Guns.
No, don't gloss over that. Who was his partner?
The Smoking Guns came out first, didn't they? And then he came out?
No.
Yokozuna is the mystery partner.
That's right. Yokozuna. That's freaking awesome.
Timeout. This is the stank coming over from WrestleMania 10 because Owen and Bret Hart's story is one of the best storylines WWE ever did. So Owen wanted to team with Yoko because you beat my brother Bret at WrestleMania. We have something in common. It was great. It was smart to do that. I have no issue with that. I felt it was weird at the time, personally, when I saw it, because I thought Yoko felt like a main eventer, and I kind of thought the same thing for Owen. And once again, they're like, nah, you're a tag team going forward. And hindsight being what it is, I didn't know that Yoko had a weight problem because he came back bigger. Was this when he was 666 or was he 500?
He wasn't quite 660, but he was over 6.
Yeah, he was. Yoko came back as a big boy, and they dominated. And Owen Hart and Yokozuna would go on to become a great tag team and tag team champions. I'll leave it at that. I really have no issues with this.
You can't have. This is one of the greatest moments. Like I said, terrible show. But these little things, these little idiosyncrasies are why I picked WrestleMania 9 to be worse. And chat, you need to pay attention and stop being so biased. Owen getting his first title is widely considered one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history. How many great moments was at WrestleMania 9?
We'll compare at the end.
Go ahead. Just saying.
Hold on.
Just saying.
Hold on. So remember that guy Bob Backlund who got beat in 3 minutes by Razor Ramon?
Bob Backlund.
Well, not DiGiorno, folks. It's the struggle. Bret Hart versus Bob Backlund in an I Quit submission match with the special guest referee, Roddy Piper. Guess what happened in this one, guys? Not only did Bob Backlund not quit in this match, technically, he just said, that's ring the bell. Okay, Piper, we get it. They tried to do Bret's my cousin in WrestleMania 8. I'm still kind of mad about that, you know? They tried to make you believe there was some doubt in there. Never for a second did I doubt it. Bret Hart beats Bob Backlund with the chicken wing. Why did it take Bret Hart longer to beat Bob Backlund? 9 minutes and 34 seconds, but Razor Ramon did it in less than 4 minutes. What is this jabron stuff? And Bob Backlund, to me, has always gotten the push that Owen ended up getting later, or that Owen should have gotten later. I get you didn't want to squash Owen, but you could have did the title change a little bit earlier, gave Owen a little run, and then Diesel could have did what you wanted him to do.
Right.
That's my opinion on it. Bob Backlund, this match is garbage, and this actually ended Bob Backlund's run. I think they were better off having the match that they had on Superstars, Sean, when they were both faces, Bret and Bob.
The I Quit match fell flat, but when I was talking crap about Bob Backlund in 93, Bob Backlund had ascended to being relevant again by 95. He was a champion in 94.
Not a fan of it personally. Never liked Bob Backlund as the champion. Okay. But what I'm saying is Bret Hart's above this. I'm going to say that, and I 100% mean it. And I also think this is Bret. If you ask me to rank Bret Hart's worst WrestleMania performance, this is it. I did not like this match at all.
What?
At all.
It wasn't a good match, but you rank this as worst. What about WrestleMania? WrestleMania 9 was a freaking atrocity. 8 minutes, and he lost with salt to the eyes.
Main event, him and Yoko were still doing good things, I felt, in that. I did not like this at all. I thought Bret should have squashed this dude instantly.
Why would he squash him?
Not squash him like that, but Bret should beat him convincingly.
He did.
9 minutes. 9 minutes to beat Bob Backlund. Diesel beat him in 8 seconds. What are they trying to tell us here? You don't want this. You want this. And I'm like, oh, brother.
I hear you. I mean, I guess. But like I said, and I see McKinney making fun of me. It's okay, bro. I can take it. Let me tell you something, brother. You're making fun, but you look it up. Owen revealing Yoko as his partner. I'm not just talking about. Yeah, I'm not. Huh?
It got a great pop. I remember as a kid, I was like, "Oh,
talking about my opinion, McKinney." In case you're trying to, and I see, and no, thank you, and I see you possibly, McKinney. If you're trying to say like this is my opinion of one of the great moments in wrestling. No. This is a documented. I speak facts. I don't speak opinions. This is a documented. Owen revealing Yoko and then going on to beat the Guns for his first ever championship is considered one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history. Look it up. That's part of the reason why I'm basing my opinion on this argument saying 11 was better. WrestleMania 9 didn't have any great moments. Owen winning his first championship is historic. Look it up, bro. Go ahead.
We now are already at the main events. All right?
All right, this is bad, but it was good until the end.
So you told Sean, I like you a lot, pal. I'm going to have you win this Royal Rumble. It's 60 seconds. No one's in it that matters, but you're going to win by eliminating Bulldog. Oh, the dude in the opener of WrestleMania. Yes.
He won from number one. He won from number one. He won from the number one position.
With 60-second intervals, which I think that was the mistake.
I have never, ever heard you be so cynical. You are picking for straws, bro. For straws.
No. I think that 90 seconds in the Royal Rumble is what adds to the mystique. When they tried the 60, it did not work that night, and I'm glad they haven't went back to it. I think it's too fast no matter what you try. I know they do the Titan time. Fine. That's cool, whatever. But I think you still need to start with the 90 seconds every time so that people know. Diesel, is Shawn Michaels winning that Rumble, so at the time, Baywatch was a cool thing. Pamela Anderson was on it. Yeah. She's supposed to come out with the winner. Huh?
Makes sense.
She's supposed to come out with the winner. Shawn wins. Pamela Anderson can't be found that day. Jennifer McCarthy's there, though, from MTV. She was another, hot body lady from back in the day. She comes out with Shawn instead as the challenger. Sid Vicious is his bodyguard, which I thought was weird that Sid didn't have a match. Like, you have Sid here. You're not going to use him. They were like, no, you're with the bodyguard, but they're telling a story with this. I'll get into that. Diesel comes out with Pamela Anderson because he's Big Daddy Cool. I stole your girl, doo-doo, whatever. So Diesel comes out. Shawn looks like an idiot right now at this point. They go out and have this match. No, I'm saying he looks like an idiot. What Pamela Anderson didn't want to come out with him, so she came out with Diesel. You could have did something else with that, I thought, but whatever. So Shawn goes into this match. I think he worked really hard, but going back and watching it, I also feel like you could tell that Shawn was definitely sabotaging a little bit. I don't know if you feel the same way. Like on the power bomb, he over rotated. He tried to blow Diesel up at points in this match. You're like, Diesel's out of breath here.
You might be right. Yeah.
So in this match, there's a ref bump that occurs, and I think it was Earl had hurt his leg. Sid grabs the ref and pulls him off the apron, and that's where the issue is. He hurts his leg. Down he goes. What's going to happen? What do we do? Well, in the end, Diesel gets the win. Diesel beats Shawn, whatever. They're out there. I don't even remember. There were a bunch of celebrities. You had little Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement. I mean, I guess. Nicholas Turturro from, what was he, in NYPD Blue at the time? I don't remember. Like, I was just like, what are these celebrities? This was the weakest lineup of celebrities ever, I felt, too, for this WrestleMania.
It was weak. It was.
Not Diesel wins. Not good. This match was okay. Like I said, if you asked me to give the matches that I thought I'm going to give a pass to, the tag title match I thought was good. I thought this match was good for what it was. And I'm going to give LT and Bam Bam the main event kind of a nod for what it was. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors in this match too. Pat Patterson's the referee for it. That tells you all you need to know. Pat Patterson's always the referee when they don't trust the person to remember the spots in the match because Pat's going to tell you what to do. Sorry, breaking kayfabe.
That's not bad. I feel you on that.
In LT's corner, he had Carl Banks, not the guy from Fresh Prince, the football player. Ricky Jackson, Steve Mongo McMichael made a WWF appearance before WCW. Ken Norton Jr., Chris Spielman, and Reggie White. And Bam Bam had Bundy, DiBiase, Kama, Erwin R. Shyster, Tatanka, and Nikolai Volkov in his corner, the $1 Million Team. Fam, I'm trying to do my best here. So once again, this is why Shawn and Diesel are going to get the garbage that they get for this. You were the world champion. And they said, Bam Bam, I need you, brother. I need you to make this guy look good, and I need this to be the main event. And LT got all the pomp and circumstance. Who did his performance? Salt and Pepper, right?
Yes.
They came out and did What a Man. Then they did what they could here, but this is probably where Bam Bam's ego came from and hating the clique in all of this.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
No, he definitely was put in a respected position to main event WrestleMania. But dog, if you're Diesel, how are you supposed to feel? This is the guy, you're telling me he's better than Brett, but then you do this stuff where it's like, yeah, nah, that ain't it, Chief. That's not it. Lawrence Taylor did what he could in this match. He put on a heck of a performance. Is this something that I'm telling you you're going to be writing about in the top 50 greatest WrestleMania matches next year? Not at all.
No. Not
at all. It was okay. Bam Bam did his best. It was just, it was there. It was there. Someone said this show is 90s AF. That is true. I don't know, Shawn. This is just bad. And it gets worse in the year. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Vince did not learn his lesson from all of this. And I just thought that it was horrible. You put together a show with no star power. None. You didn't do, at least you got salt in the eyes. At least you had Hogan to drop the leg drop, brother. We didn't get Hogan. We had go LT, go LT, go LT. What is this? Why? They spent time promoting people who didn't work for them over the wrestlers. And I'm sure the wrestlers were offended by this. And I'm sure Shawn was mad too. That he was like, I'm not even the main event, dog. And you gave me this. And I think Vince saw the work he put in, and later on, that's why he ended up getting this. People are telling us what's going on Raw right now. McKinney booed something. I didn't see when he put that up. Y'all better sing that. How in 95 was the $1 million team a top faction and they didn't win no titles, no big matches, nothing. Bro, how was Kama not on this show? that was the other thing. Is this where he stole the urn or was that later?
That was later.
Yeah. Dude, Lawrence Taylor beating Bam Bam Bigelow with a poorly attempted flying forearm. Yeah, that's groundbreaking. What a mess. I don't know. The biggest tag team partner ever. See, Deanna remembers that Yoko. Like I said, Yoko basically dominated. Billy and Bart Gunn were doing the job that night. That might be Bart Gunn's second worst match where he got jobbed out. Y'all know WrestleMania 15. We ain't gonna talk about that one. Vince set my boy up to get knocked out by Butterbean. So listen, Sean, when I look at the positives of WrestleMania 9 versus 11, you had togas. You had a cool vibe at least. All right. Cool vibe versus Connecticut. All right. You at least had the star power of Hogan. I know it wasn't what it was in the 80s, but at least you had the star power of Hogan and Brett in the main event. They did quality stuff in there. We had Bam Bam Bigelow and Lawrence Taylor. That shows you what they thought of the roster at the time. We got to go with a celebrity. We have to do this. And I thought the angle was well put together at the Rumble, the shove, and all that stuff, but I thought we could have done better here with all of this. The tag team title situation, WrestleMania 11, I'll give it to Hogan and Beefcake. What a mess that was. But you at least had Shawn Michaels opening up with Tatanka. And I know you kind of didn't give Tatanka his full due in my opinion. I liked Tatanka. I thought he had something back then. But it didn't work out. It didn't work out at the time. But I don't know, man. When you ask me, we're grasping at straws here to tell you which one's worse, but I think 11's worse. Like I have no desire to ever go back and watch the show ever.
It was bad, man. But like I said, I think I made my argument. You know, I think people like Quills and Deanna, a couple people heard me, and other people really didn't. But you know, for me,
don't try and make us do that. E, I see you trying to bait. That's bait.
I think at the end of the day, you know, I have a couple things on my side for this particular argument. Both shows are trash, right? But one argument for me is that the world title changed hands on Salt to the Face. That's terrible. Number two, 3 matches under 3 minutes. Number three, 3 DQs. 3 DQs on a card that wasn't that good to begin with.
The Blue Brothers.
3 DQs, and I think if you guys are being fair in combat, I think if you're being fair, I think that the fact that, and like I said, not just my opinion, a fact. Owen Hart, you're introducing Yokozuna, and then eventually winning his first championship is one of the greatest moments in Mania history. It was a terrible pay-per-view, but if you go down the tiers of the show, both shows were terrible. One show had a historically significant, historically fun, historically happy moment, and that shouldn't be ignored, bro. Like I'm being real with you, man. Like 11 was trash, bro. But there's not one piece of WrestleMania 9 I look back and think, you know, at least that was cool, bro. But at the end of the day, Owen winning his first championship, it was huge. I mean, it was huge. It was groundbreaking.
He celebrated like he won the Royal Rumble in the main event of WrestleMania. That was the best part about it. Owen always sold it, dude. Like I said, that Brett storyline carried through, and I really wish that Owen would have got the spot that Backlund had. I think in 11, bro, if you rearrange some of the pieces, like I told you with Mr. Perfect with Bret Hart for WrestleMania 9, like if they didn't want to go with Yoko, I know that he was the guy. But what if, for WrestleMania 9, what if you just did the Blue Brothers versus the Smoking Guns instead? Right? Non-title. What if the title match was then the Allied Powers with the tag titles versus Owen and Yoko?
No argument there. It would have been better.
That's blockbuster. Way better than the crap that they put together. Dude, fam, I don't even know. I have no idea what they were thinking when they put together these cards. It's bad. It's bad. If you mix these two cards together, I wouldn't want to watch it. My card was so bad it didn't get a dark match, bro. They were like, yeah, don't even go out there, bro. It's not worth it. Hartford, Connecticut versus Las Vegas. Where would you rather go? All right, thank you. Would you rather have the Luger girls to look at, or would you rather have the hot garbage of all these people? Someone said there were more NFL. I don't know who said it in the chat. Someone said there were more NFL players than wrestlers there. Terrible, bro. Terrible.
First of all, I have no issue with. First of all, I have no issue with salt and pepper, so that's number one.
No, salt and pepper was fine. That it was fine for LT's entrance
at that time. So.
But I'm just saying, you called in a lot of people because you didn't have faith in. Let's admit it, you didn't have faith in Brett, Diesel, and Sean. Like, you didn't have faith in the new generation.
I don't know, man. I'm sticking to my guns, man. I think you're gonna win this debate.
There's no winner. We're all losers in this. Remember that, folks. We're all losers if you watch these shows. But what I'm saying is, what's worse in your opinion? Because it's been debated. Sean, listen, I went and did research, bro. And when I went back, it was tied evenly for what show was worse. And people argued both sides of it. It was very interesting. Salt and pepper over Luger's girls every time, 100%. But I was referring to the NFL people, though, that they had. They had a lot of NFL people show up for it. 50 men, 60 seconds is plenty. I disagree with that. I do not like that for the Royal Rumble, Deanna. I'm just letting you know. Let's go through this Impact card real quick here, and then we'll get you guys on out of here. I know Raw started. We went our regular time. It doesn't matter. We were having fun. You guys dictate the show some of the time. So let me see here. We are going to share the screen. We are going to end up moving me and Sean over to the side here. There we go. We're on the side. Here is Sacrifice for the big pay-per-view here. Impact Plus. You can also watch it on Fight TV. That is where the code will be for Fight. I don't know if you want to give predictions or anything, Sean, or if you just kind of want to just go through
it real quick, and then we can just go. Like, we can run it down real quick. I know who I think is going to win each match.
Sean's favorite trios: Time Machine, Motor City Machine Guns, and Kushida versus Josh Alexander, Rich Swann, and Frankie Kazarian. Sean, I know you're excited about this one, bro.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly excited. What an idiot! I love the Motor City Machine Guns, but I will never ever pick a team that has Kushida on it. I'm definitely picking the Impact champion, Mr. Kazarian and Rich Swann.
Yo, shout out to Doug in the chat. There's one winner of the contest, Conrad, the winner of the giveaway. No lie. We also have a Knockouts World Title rematch between Mickie James and Jordynne Grace. This is actually the match I'm probably most looking forward to.
Me too, and I think Mickie retains.
I think so too. I think Jordynne Grace might be getting ready to go for a little heel turn, maybe a little thick mama pump.
Maybe.
The first ever busted open match. I'm assuming this is First Blood. I don't know the rules of this. Tommy Dreamer versus Bully Ray. How you feel about Bully and Impact, man? Are you over Bully being around?
A little bit. I think that that little work he did with Mickie was entertaining, but I think seeing Tommy Dreamer versus Bully Ray in a pay-per-view in 2023 is laughable.
Let me see here. People are going in. I think some people are behind a little bit. You got to pay me to watch TNA. You better cut it out. Y'all show some love to Impact. It's good, man. I'm telling you. Trey Miguel's defending the X Division Championship against Lince Dorado.
Miguel.
I got Trey retaining in this. Lince's great, though.
Yep. Retained.
World Tag Titles, Sean. Finally, they gave the Bullet Club the tag titles. Ace Austin and Chris Bay versus TMDK. The Mighty Don't Kneel.
I think they retain. I don't think they give it to him just to take it right back.
Yeah, I mean, they could take it over to New Japan because they work over there as well, but I just don't see them making that move right now. And shout out to the Mighty Don't Kneel, too. They're great with Zack Sabre Jr. now as a new group over there in New Japan. Heated grudge match, Giselle Shaw versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Purrazzo, no contest.
I feel like I'm gonna be weird on this one, Sean. I think they're gonna put over Giselle Shaw.
Okay.
I feel like Deanna Purrazzo's on her way out, and I feel like they're going to give Giselle some love here. Another one that I think you could have a match where people are talking about it later on during the year for like what was the best match for Impact, Jonathan Gresham versus Mike Bailey.
I think I'm going to go with Gresham on this one.
I'm going to take Mike Bailey. I really dig Mike Bailey, but you could be right. I wouldn't be upset if it went either way. I think this is a feud that's going to continue. Revenge is everything. Kenny King versus PCO. Give me PCO.
Shout out to Kenny King, but I got to go with PCO on this one.
Right? Jocelyn said, I'm loving Bully Ray. He's gold. Bully Ray is better than someone said sacrifice over WrestleMania 9 and 11. Stop it. You're probably right, though. Digital media title, Joe Hendry. I'm in love with Joe Hendry versus Brian Myers. Give me Joe Hendry.
Hendry retains.
Hendry retains.
By the way, nice card, I think. Nice card. Really cool way to, but at that point we'd be 8 days away from WrestleMania. I think that's a really cool way to start WrestleMania week.
Yeah. Sean, if you want to
you should definitely you talk about the winner?
Yeah, you want to reveal the winner?
Announce it, bro. You announce. We made a decision. I want you to announce it.
Doug asking if Mickey has to retire if she loses. No, Doug. But Doug, you know who may be retiring? You, good sir. Because on Friday you are going to get to watch this show. Yes. We are sending you it. If you want to watch SmackDown, then go back and watch it. You are more than welcome to. But Doug, you are the winner. Send me a message on social media and I will hook you up with the code. Fight TV hooked us up with that, and we thank them. Always good to have them as a partner. They are much appreciated. Next week, man, we got a big episode for you guys. It's the WrestleMania 39. It's the big preview and predictions. Sean, first off, number 30, big number. Like, I don't even know how that all worked out.
I'm excited about that. Yes, thank you. I agree. Yeah. It's been a very it's been a cool run, and I think it's going to continue for a long time. It's really dope that 30 episodes. That's huge.
I'm also wondering if Bray Wyatt's even going to be included in our talk. We're going to have a lot. So next week at 6:05 Eastern Standard Time, myself and Sean will be back. Sean, what do you got going on this week? Anything that the people need to be checking out?
For the next month, besides WrestleMania and everything I'm doing here with Conrad on Clash of the Podcast, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly is going to be completely dug in, getting ready for Garcia versus Tank Davis coming up on April 22nd. That is our sole focus. Merch is really doing well. Check out the Run HWW shirt. You know what I'm saying? Got the Clash of the Podcast shirt coming out. So I'm really excited about that. But yes, most definitely, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly is your exclusive home for coverage for Garcia versus Tank. Huge. Biggest fight in the boxing world in 2023.
Listen, you got a Dynamite review coming up for me and Derek this week on Wednesday. We're going to be talking that great Kenny Omega, and I can't wait to hear all the people saying they're Vikingo fans after this. Who? Yeah, we're going to find out who on Wednesday, and I hope you don't say that anymore. So make sure you join me and Derek on Wednesday. Next week, me and Sean, WrestleMania preview, predictions. We're blowing it out the water. Tell a friend. Get your popcorn ready. Get your drink ready. We will be here next week.
And I'm not done talking about Jey Uso, so we're going to get into it again.
Right? I appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you for sticking with us and showing love through Raw. For myself, my tag team partner, Sean, we are out. We will see you all next week.